Welcome back to Reliving Retro.
What's up?
What's up, guys?
Yo, yo, yo.
How are we?
I'm good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys have fun this week playing this game?
I had a great time.
I had fun, yeah.
I wanted to note before we started that I started playing this game before we started the show, right? The trailer show on Sunday.
Yeah.
And then both of you beat it within like 24 hours, and I hadn't played it again since I played it before the show.
Yeah.
This game, you can beat this game pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when Rigney had texted me like, "How you doing in the game?" I told him I hadn't played it yet, like not since I was there before the show.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the following day, I came home from work, and I beat it in like I don't know, an hour and a half.
Yeah, didn't take long.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you use the rewind?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Yeah. This is a video
Oh,
recorded.
damn it.
Yeah.
Snag.
It's on YouTube, by the way, for people listening.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so if you haven't guessed it by now, our retro game of the week was Super Mario Brothers. I hope some of y'all played it with us. I guess let's get into reviewing it, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
We have 5 categories: story, gameplay, visuals, soundtrack, and how well it aged, which we're just calling aged because how well it aged is kind of lengthy.
Yeah.
And we can rate each one of those categories out of 5 stars. So let's start it off with story. Yaiser,
Oh, story.
how did you rank it in story?
I wrote down what story?
Yeah.
Because
Agreed.
they didn't tell you anything, really. When we were doing 3 stars, I didn't give it any. But out of 5, I gave it 1 because you do see Toad and he goes, "The princess isn't in this castle."
Yeah. Yeah. I just,
So all they needed to do, and it wouldn't have been, even back then, it would have been super easy. Like load screen, press start, one screen with Toad there saying, "Oh no, Mario, help me find the princess. She's
Right.
trapped in a castle." I would have gave it like 2 more stars if they did. But
Yeah.
they didn't even explain that. So
no, you just hit start and then boom, it's side scroller.
it's
You're just like, whoa.
figure it out.
Yep.
So this is where playing it, I guess, like now kind of hurts this section.
Yeah.
Trav, what did you give it?
I gave the story 1 star. I wasn't aware we could do no stars, but that was only for 3 stars, right? So
I mean, I gave it 1.
our system is 5. The lowest you can give something is a 1 star, right? So I gave it a 1 star.
I mean, if I feel 0, I'm giving 0.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. It's got a 1 because
So-
Toad did say every 7 chapters.
Yeah, all 7 or 8 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to be a little weird about this, probably. I gave the story a 3
Oh,
out of 5.
Okay.
Here's the reason.
Okay.
The whole story, it doesn't have to say text in the game for you to understand that you are a plumber trying to save a princess
It
Yeah.
should.
from some sort of lizard turtle beast.
So okay,
And-
maybe it explained that in the book, possibly.
Well,
Like,
I
if
was
you
going to
bought
get to the
game,
book in a second, but go ahead.
Does it explain that?
It explains much more than that.
Okay, all right.
This
then
is
I can't
the
be,
cra- this
I
is
can't
the-
really be mad about it.
No, you can't be mad about it because you didn't read it, right?
yeah, but
Yeah.
it's not in the game.
It's not in the game.
We're only putting stars here for
Yeah.
Which is what I was
yeah.
saying. It's going to be kind of hard to go based on a story for an old game like this where we don't have the manual.
Yeah, I thought about that. Maybe they explain more.
Right. So, in the fantasy setting of the Mushroom Kingdom, a tribe of turtle-like creatures known as the Koopa Troopas invade the kingdom and use the magic of its king, Bowser, to turn its inhabitants, known as the Mushroom People, into inanimate objects such as bricks. You know all those bricks you break?
Yeah.
Those are toads.
Oh my god.
This is why this story gets bumped up for me. Mario is
Alright.
actually a massive murderer.
But
I
you're giving it
guess.
stars for something you're not even supposed to know at that point. Right?
I mean, you're supposed to know it if you buy when you bought the
Yeah,
game, you have the manual. So technically, you're supposed to know
oh,
it.
is it in the manual?
It's
Yeah,
in
it's
the-
in the,
this is
that's,
all in the
that's what it
manual.
says in the manual,
Oh, okay.
which is wild.
Oh.
Yeah, that I knew that I was only going to be I knew I was going to be the only one to give it like a decent score for story because I had a feeling you guys didn't know that backstory.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think it's kind of funny. I had to bring it up.
So I'm actually. That's cool that they did that, but I'm actually gonna double down on my 1 star because
Oh yeah.
because sure, you did that, and that's cool information that I didn't know to this day, but the game still did nothing. You didn't progress that story at all, and as far as I knew, you just heard Toad say all the way up to the end of the 7th chapter, right? Because in 8, you rescue her.
Yep.
And the 7th one, he's just
Spoilers.
like, sorry, she's not here.
Spoilers.
Well, they
Oh,
should have
sorry.
played with us.
I know.
So spoilers, 35 years later.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. So all right. So you had one. You had
Yeah.
one. I had 3.
one. But honestly, I'm willing to change it. I didn't know that part was included with the original purchase of the game.
Yeah, that was actually in the instruction book.
Right.
If that was just something that
I
was
wish
like
I looked
on,
it up because I would have not gave it 1 star. I don't think
no, it's okay.
Don't feel bad about it.
because that's
I wouldn't feel bad about it. I wouldn't have thought to look it up. I already knew it. The only reason why I looked it up is because I wanted to read it word for word.
yeah. I even thought maybe they put story in the book. I should have looked that up. I'm gonna change it.
What did you change it to?
That's a pretty cool story, right? It's pretty fucking cool. I'm gonna change it.
Yaiser hasn't decided if we're explicit content or not yet.
Oh, we are.
All right, good.
Yeah, the cart logo. There's an M on there.
Yeah.
I'm
For
gonna,
mature.
Rated M for mature. That's
Yeah.
cool.
I'm gonna give it 4.
A 4?
A 4.
Dude, that's
wow.
I didn't know those bricks were toads.
That one detail can't make it go up 3 stars.
I mean, that's a lot of death.
Explained
That is a lot of
everything.
death. Yeah, but the video, the
And how
actual
evil
playing of the
Bowser
game
really
had
is,
nothing.
like turning toads into
And
bricks.
Bowser, did Bowser even say anything? Was there any dialogue from Bowser in this
He
game?
says, I'm pretty sure he says "gwahaha."
He's the main
He has to
antagonist.
at least say gwahaha.
Sometimes he says "bahaha," but a lot of times it's "gwahaha."
3.5.
All right, 3.5 for Yaiser for the story. Originally, my story was going to be 2 because I'm like, it's a guy saving a princess from a monster out of a castle. Like, how cliche is that? But toads turned into bricks. Mario smashed toad bricks. Toad pieces everywhere.
Yeah, that's
That's
a real
hilarious.
dark detail.
Right, I
that-
like it.
that they left out. And that's probably why they didn't put it in the actual game because these
Maybe.
games for
For the
children.
kids to play. Yeah.
You guys are wondering why there's only 1 toad left.
Yeah,
Kind of
it's
crazy.
just Toad.
All right.
All right. Jumping now to the gameplay, the actual playing of the game. Yaiser, what do you think?
2 stars.
2 stars. Okay. And what are your feelings to back that up?
I wanted to be able. So running and jumping is really all you do in this game.
That's the game. Yeah.
Throw
I wanna
fireballs.
I want to fight. The only way you can fight is if you have fireballs,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I want more. I want to be able to fight. I don't want the map to beat me. I want the characters on the map to
The
beat
enemies.
Me. Yeah, yeah,
So
the enemies.
I think this is a good point to talk about the enemies also. So your least favorite enemy to go up against.
I mean, if you have fire, it's like they're all pretty easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But without fire, those hammer bros, how do you kill them without fire? You just got to run past, right?
This is a good time.
You
probably
can
to
jump on them,
to read my notes.
but good luck.
But they're
Yeah.
they throw them like almost straight up in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best way to kill a hammer bro is if he's on a platform above you, and then you hit the brick.
Oh,
and
you can
then-
do that?
Yeah, he'll die.
Oh man, I wish I knew that
I
before.
wish I knew that.
Guys,
should've
now's a
texted
great
me.
time to read you my 2 notes here.
Yeah.
My first note says, "Hammer throwing turtles are the worst mob in this game. They are my Dallas Cowboys."
Oh wow.
And then I put, "That little guy in the cloud throwing spike shells is a jerk, and I hope all his soup is cold for eternity."
That's Lakitu, man. Yeah,
Lakitu,
he's a
yeah.
fucking ballhole too.
Yeah,
He is a butthole.
little turtle. That's a little spike turtle shell throwing jerk.
Again, how the fuck do you kill him without fire?
You got to jump on him.
He's so high up.
I'm gonna be honest
Yep,
with
good
you.
luck.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I cheated a lot. I
Me
cheat
too.
The
like
rewind thing?
not just the rewind thing. I saved it. I saved over the same save point 30, 40 times
Yeah.
just so that I could keep fireballs.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And if
Every
I didn't,
time,
if I didn't want to lose them, I just started it over
Yeah.
from that save point and got my fireballs back and started the level over again.
So my first playthrough, I did that, but with rewind.
Yeah.
Every time I lost it, let's back up a few
Yeah.
frames here and get my fire.
That last level, right? The maze.
Dude.
I had to rewind a
Oh,
lot
man.
because I'm like, I almost ran out of time every time.
I killed Bowser with 14 seconds left.
Do you guys understand how long I ran through it before I realized it was a maze? I was like, so this looked like the Flintstones. Like I just keep running by, like past the same background over and over again.
It's like, this can't be right.
Yeah, that was fucking hard to figure out.
Yeah, so the maze on 7.4 and on the 8.4 wasn't as bad, but 7.4 was pretty bad.
I had to Google it both times.
Did you?
Yep.
I just figured them out, but
Yeah, I just kept doing it until I got it right.
I couldn't figure it out with 7.
So you said you gave it 2 stars for gameplay?
Gameplay, yeah. Because I did still enjoy it.
Yeah, Trev?
I gave it a 1 star. I just want to note here that we started with the 2 worst categories for me. Like, I have better ratings for other things in the game.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
All right, good.
So you hated the playing the game and what the game had to offer as far as entertainment.
exactly. The story it told and how to play it were the worst. No, they got 1 star just because I don't know. I'm playing as an adult. Maybe child me enjoyed it more, but adult me.
That's fair.
I get it.
I gave the gameplay a 3.5, which may seem pretty high. The reason why I gave it such a high score is because I think that this is kind of the sweet spot for beginner gamers, where this game is difficult at times, but it also can be like easy enough to want to keep playing it.
Yeah.
And I felt like it's a very like I said, it hit the sweet spot when it comes to like just difficulty in general.
Right, like an entry point into video games themselves.
Yeah,
Which
so-
is pretty much what it was, right?
Yeah, I mean, really. I mean, it kind of, jump-started the whole platformer genre. I don't really know if there was another one before this, but this was basically the jump-off point for platformers.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of fun playing it. So, gave it a
Very fun.
3.5.
There was definitely fun that was had. Don't confuse my 2 low rankings here
Yeah.
as my overall thought for the game.
Yeah.
Also, underrated difficult level was 2-2, which was the underwater.
Oh,
The
the
water
water
one.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I don't think that
I
one
didn't
is the
struggle with
underwater.
any of the underwater ones.
I can't remember which one it is, but the underwater levels, when those stupid squids,
squids,
dudes,
right?
the
Yeah.
squids, if you don't have fireballs and you have to deal with the squids, it's a rough time.
Yeah.
Dude, I played a lot of Flappy Bird, so like
It is
wa-
basically Flappy
that
is,
Bird.
water
yeah.
level was. I didn't have trouble with any of them.
Nice.
Whatever
What do you
it
give Flappy Bird story?
0, a -1.
-1.
There's no story, just pipes and a bird.
Wow.
All right, moving on. Visuals. Yaiser.
Okay, so I think like both character design
Mm-hmm.
and like even the worlds themselves too. Like you got the underwaters, you got the dungeons,
Mm-hmm.
and you got I think for 1985, pretty awesome. And all those characters, they still kind of look the same. They've been here.
Yeah, they
for
really have
fucking
kept. Yeah, they really have kept like most of the characters'
Yeah.
designs like true to what they were.
almost 40 years now. They all still look the same. So I gave it a 4, man. I thought,
Gray
think,
mushrooms? Who even knew gray mushrooms were a thing?
oh, those gray boys, yeah.
Yeah, the gray boys. I gave visuals a 3 star.
3.
Wow. See, this was the one I was a little lower on,
Yeah.
which is weird. I think.
This is weird.
We are very opposite right now with what our rankings are. My reasoning for giving it a little bit lower is because I felt like a lot of the stages seemed regurgitated.
Yeah.
Like I felt like there was kind of a set stage for like the first level in a world, and then the second, and then the third, and then the fourth was always a castle.
There's a pattern, yeah.
Yeah, there was a very deliberate pattern, I guess. And
Yeah.
for me, it's just like they really just took 4 levels and redesigned them a bunch of times.
Yeah.
So I felt like maybe they could have done more in that aspect.
It's kind of
But
an
I'm also
Go ahead.
sorry, but I'm also kind of spoiled in the sense that I've grown up playing Super Mario Brothers 3 and Super Mario World, and those worlds are very, very intricate,
Right.
very themed worlds. Which I mean, they're newer games, so obviously they should be better.
Right.
But I also felt like I was just giving it too many good scores, and I felt like if it suffered in one category, it was this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see where you're coming from.
The maze parts, right? The 2 levels that were a maze. Thinking back though, that's a pretty intricate detail for a game that old. Like, how do you even design a game to do that, or to have it just repeat over and over again until you end up in the right spot?
That's actually true, because it's not even as simple as get into this like warp pipe.
Yeah.
It's you have to go up on the top path and then get down and
Yeah.
go in that warp pipe to go to
Yeah.
the next part.
Yeah.
You can't go into it from the bottom. You have to do it from the top part for it to move on.
Then so that sort of makes me ask the question then, if they were able to be so intricate in that detail for the pattern or for the puzzle levels, Why not put that kind of effort into all the levels?
Right. I think it was basic. I sort of felt like that was a last ditch effort to be like, this is how we make the game a little bit more difficult without adding like an absolute influx of sprites on the screen.
Yeah.
Because again, certain capabilities back then, they could probably only have a few sprites on the screen at a time. So they could only make the game so difficult, you know what I mean, when it comes to adding enemies on the screen.
Yeah. Only so much room on that little cartridge.
Right.
I wish that fireballs worked on Bowser.
They do.
You gotta hit him enough times.
A lot of times you gotta hit him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so if you just stay far away and he's in the screen, you just keep firing, he'll die.
What
you meant to say was that you wish you texted us first and let
I wish I didn't give up so easy on the fireballs. Like whenever I got the Bowser and I had the fireballs, I was like, well, I'm losing these, so unless I could run and jump over them. There's a couple times where I wanted to see, like, I knew I was coming up on Bowser, and I'm like, I'm just going to sprint and see how many times I can just run and jump and just clear him. Just no battle, just jump over him onto the axe.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love that feeling of just being able to jump over Bowser onto the axe, but I also love the feeling of running straight under him when he jumps.
That's probably the better
I
feeling.
went under one time. I think it went under when I was little Mario.
Scary, right?
Yeah.
When I was little Mario.
He was throwing hammers too. It was throwing hammers and spitting fireballs.
It
So
is
I
terrifying.
was like, I can't jump over this motherfucker.
When you're
So I
little
just
Mario?
timed it running straight. Yeah.
Yeah, this game is a little unforgiving in the sense that you have 3 lives,
Yeah.
and then when your 3 lives are over, you are all the way back at the beginning. You're back at 1-1.
Yeah.
You're not back at, like, well, I'll get into that after, but
It makes getting coins crucial.
yeah, it really does. That's what because most Mario levels, I do not, like most Mario games, I do not care about coins at all.
Nobody does.
In this one, I was like, yo, I need to get coins.
Yeah.
I need to get way more coins.
Yeah.
But what did you give the visuals?
3 stars.
3. Okay. I should have been writing this down. Well, I'll write them all down after. I'm new at this. All right, moving on to the soundtrack. Yaiser?
Okay. Like, come on. Right. It's got to be 5 stars.
Come on.
These songs are all of the theme songs of every single type of level.
Bangers.
Are so iconic.
Yeah.
It's like, I haven't heard them in how many years. I mean, but you have. 'Cause,
Okay.
like, you hear them all the time.
What was your favorite? Do you have a favorite? Is it the OG, like, level 1-1?
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. Is that it?
Is it? I don't know. I like the underwater then.
Dude, the underwater level is nice.
Yeah.
I'm also a big fan of just the underground level. Yeah.
I actually kind of like the anxiety-inducing Bowser's Castle level.
Yeah, I think they're all so good.
Yeah.
They really
Yeah.
are.
5 stars. 5
you gave
stars
it
for
you
me
gave it a
from that
5?
one, of course.
What about you, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, come on. 5 stars.
5 stars. Wow. Again, I was the lowest, but this was the highest I went, and only because I was like, this isn't even close to my favorite video game soundtrack of all time. Like, I 100% agree that these are all super iconic. I could play the Super Mario, like the level 1-1. I could play that theme to anybody, and they would know it's Mario.
Yeah.
Of course.
They don't even have to play the game. I know they'd know it's Mario. That's how iconic it is. So I gave it a 4.5, which is, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it's right there.
Pretty reasonable.
So I do think that my favorite level, at least like the theme, was probably the underwater. And you said underwater too?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know which one was my favorite. Probably, I mean,
castle
my
one's good,
absolute favorite is probably the 1-1.
Yeah.
OG.
All right. How do you guys feel that this game aged?
Okay for me. It's so much different than games now, though.
Yeah.
But like, I feel it was worth going back and playing.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it didn't suck me in. Like, I've been playing the shit out of Elden Ring, right?
Yeah, right.
So it's a little bit.
It's going to be a lot harder to compare
than
this
that
to Elden
game.
Ring.
But I gave it 2.5.
Okay.
But one thing I did note, I don't think I would have had the patience to get all the way through if I didn't have the rewind feature.
Yeah. Well, it took me longer, and I would have run out of patience.
Yeah,
I don't
so
think I would have got it done even if I tried all week.
I think there's a reason I never beat this game before, and it's like what I was saying before, where it's so unforgiving in the sense that you have your 3 lives, and if you lose those, you're all the way back to world 1-1.
I'm just not good at these platform type of games. These run and jump.
I think
games.
I'm okay at it. Like, I think I'm decent at
Yeah.
these. I mean, I'm nowhere near those dudes you see like the videos of on TikTok where they're flying. They're flying around. They grab a turtle shell. They hit it off the wall. Then they jump off the turtle shell and grab another turtle shell.
Yeah,
and,
no.
like, that stuff's nuts.
Never.
However, I rated this a 4 in aged, and the reason why is because I looked at it like this. I was like, okay, how well does a game age? It's like when I ask, like, okay, so I'm asking somebody whether or not they want to go back and play it. Like, is it worth going back and playing? Would you recommend this to somebody who's never played it before? Like, if somebody came up to you and they're like, I've never played Super Mario Bros. Should I play it?
Of course you should play it. Yeah.
Yeah. Regardless, right, of like
Yeah.
the current technology, you should go back and play Super Mario Bros.
Yeah.
Would you say the same?
I would say the same, but I don't
With like
think,
a disclaimer, like the story sucks and the gameplay
no,
is pretty
I just
mild.
don't. I don't think that you should go back and play it simply because it is the OG. It's the game that started games.
Yeah.
But I agree with Yaiser in that I'm glad I went back and played it, but I'm glad I only went back and played it once. I'm good. I don't need to do it again.
Yeah.
And I don't mean it like it's a terrible game. It's just now I've been spoiled to this point, and there's no.
Yeah.
It's hard now. Yeah.
So if somebody was like, "Hey, I played Mario when I was a kid. Should I go back and play it again?" I'm like, "Nah."
Did you beat it? Would be my next question.
Yeah, say, I
But
was
it's
just
not even
thinking that,
satisfying when you beat it. Nothing happens. It's just the message that Toad gives you is different. Just a combination of letters at the end there that Toad
Yeah.
gives you is different.
Well,
Yeah.
and the princess is
The
there.
princess is
Oh,
there.
she's there.
get to
I don't even think I noticed because, like, as soon as I beat it, I was like, great. Just hit the button because I was already so frustrated with the little hammer throwing turtle jerks.
Oh, yeah.
They're called the Hammer Bros.
I had rewind and was still frustrated with the turtle jerks.
So my first time I played through this game, I used rewind the entire time, which is probably why it took me like a half hour, 40 minutes to beat it or whatever.
Yeah.
And people out there are probably laughing because like you can beat this game in 5 minutes if you really know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I mean, you're skipping like the whole game, but
Right.
anyway. So the first time I played it, I did that. The second time I played it, I kind of was like, okay, let's make this a little bit harder on myself. I'm not going to use the rewind at all, right? And the only thing I'm going to use is the save states. So every single time I beat a castle, meaning when I got to 2-1 or 3-1 or 4-1, I hit the save state then. So that means when I died, I went back to 4-1 or 3-1 or whatever, instead of going all the way back to 1-1.
So when
And then
I
I beat it that way.
I didn't beat it, like I didn't skip the levels. I didn't know the cheat for that. I didn't know what it was.
I skipped one on accident.
So I went through everything. 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, all the way to 8-4. I played all the levels. I rewound like a son of a bitch the whole time. But actually, if I'm being fair, I didn't really start to rewind like that until probably the
Like
fifth
World
world
5. Yeah,
because
that's when it
I
starts to get
didn't
hard,
know.
I
I
think.
didn't even realize you could do that. I just saw it said this create the save point, and I just kept doing that.
Yeah.
And then I realized, and then Yaiser said something about rewinding, and I'm like, how do you rewind? And I realized all you do is hold it, and I'm like, oh, this is a game changer. Why am I saving it?
Yeah, dude, I went through the whole game with fucking firepower.
Yeah.
And honestly, dude, I became like a sniper with them fucking fireballs too.
Oh,
like
dude.
I just can't I can't for some reason I just can't fucking jump on a tiny little platform.
Yeah.
My aim is terrible with jumping.
It's funny, dude. I was asking you kind of like throughout the week. I was like, so what do you think of it? And you're like, like you'll find out. And I was like, oh man, I feel like that means he hates it. Like he'll let me know that he hates it on the show. But it seemed like you actually liked it more than I thought you did.
I enjoyed it when I could cheat.
Yeah.
But I think if I tried to play it without cheating, dude, I don't know. The frustration would have got me.
Yeah.
You think you would have got to like World 3 and just called it a night?
I don't know if I would have got there.
I think you would have got there.
Yeah, I probably would have got there, but
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know.
Would have driven you crazy probably.
Probably.
So my daughter Olivia had she beat the most recent Mario, Super Mario Odyssey. And she played through it like all by herself and beat the whole thing.
Cool.
She beat all the bosses and stuff like that. And so I was super proud of her for that. And then I was like, here's the litmus test, right? I was like, I'm going to hand her the original Super Mario Bros. After she's played like the new hotness. I'm going to give her Old Busted and see if she can figure this out. So I handed it to her and I'm like, hey, this is the game we're playing for the podcast this week. I said, let me know what you think. And then I went and left and like went to go get food. I was gone for like a half hour, 40 minutes, something like that. And when I came back, she was still playing it and she was on level 1-4. And I was like, okay. I was like, you like it? And she's like, yeah. And she's like, I like rewinding. And I'm like, yeah, my friends do too.
Okay. Well,
But I was like, that's the litmus test though, right? Like if I could give a 7-year-old who has already played the newest game, like if I could give her this game and she was still like entertained by it for 40 minutes,
yeah.
I feel like it's good. The game holds up then.
Sure, definitely.
That's why because originally I had it out of 3 and then I'm like, you know what? Liv played it for 40 minutes without either A, getting frustrated, or B, just losing focus on it. So it must be good enough to hold up. So that's why I gave it a 4. What did you give it for age? Because I think I went before you.
1.
Okay.
Oh.
Why did you feel like it was bad?
I don't. It doesn't. Once you play through it, like I felt like I only played. We played through it for the show, obviously. But
Yeah. Did you feel like it was work?
If given the option, I wouldn't do it again because
Yeah.
I understand it's the OG and it is the game that started gaming and I appreciate it for what it is. I don't. There's nothing that satisfies me at the end of it. It's just like it was almost like you put me through the ringer with frustration, even though I had rewind. You put me through the ringer, and then at the end, you gave me nothing. You gave me the option to start over again and make it even harder.
Make it harder.
Yeah.
So it's like there was no reward. I felt like, and I guess I'm big on rewards when it comes to beating a game.
Makes sense, man.
Yeah.
So real quick, let's accumulate the scores here. So Trav, you had what for story?
I had a 1 star.
And Yaiser, you had
I bumped up to 3.5.
3.5. Gotcha. And then gameplay, Travis?
1 star.
1 star for gameplay. What about you,
2.
Yaiser? Okay. Very nice. Visuals, Trav?
3 stars.
And Yaiser?
4.
Cool. Soundtrack? 5, right?
Come on,
Five.
both come on, right?
Come on.
5.
And then aged, Trav had 1, and Yaiser had
2.5.
2.5. All right. So then for aged, the total was 2.5, which is, I guess, kind of what we're expecting here. The average for the soundtrack was 4.83. Repeating, of course. Visuals, the average was 3.167. I'm just going to put 1.6 because that's Stone Cold Steve Austin. Gameplay, the average was 2.16.
Okay.
And the story was 2.5.
All right.
So, I mean, overall, I'm going to ask something corny here. Okay? The show is called Reliving Retro. Would you guys, I already know Trav's answer because he blatantly, like he already said it, but would you guys relive Super Mario Bros?
More than we already did?
Yeah. Like, would you do it again?
I don't think so.
No?
But if you haven't recently done it,
You recommend it?
Yeah, you should.
Okay, so I guess that answers that question too. I was going to say you would definitely recommend somebody playing it, but
Yeah.
you yourself wouldn't play it again.
Yeah, I played through it twice in a week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good.
Okay. And you would not, but you would also tell somebody to play through it just because.
Yeah, I would suggest go play it. You owe it to yourself to go play the game that started the gaming. But once you do that, you're not going to need to do it again.
Makes sense.
Yeah, replay value is not super high.
Makes sense. I would relive it, but Mario's just one of my favorite franchises of all time, so that's probably why. And I would definitely recommend that if you haven't played this game, you should go out and play it. There's like 80,000 different variations of the game. You know what I mean? Like you could play it on your phone. You could play it on the Switch. You could play it on. It's on the NES. It's on the It's not on the N64. It's on the Super Nintendo. It's on the Game Boy Advance. It's on like
Yeah.
the Wii, the Wii U. They've made it everywhere. Go play it.
It's easy to get your hands
Yeah,
on.
definitely.
100%. Speaking of get your hands on it, I did want to bring up how much it costs to purchase this bad boy. If you were to purchase like the original cart,
Yeah.
right now it is currently the average price is $15 for just a loose cart, which is
That's not
pretty
bad.
reasonable.
They
Would you
probably, how many do you think they made?
a lot,
Like
a lot,
millions. Right?
roughly a lot.
Roughly a butt ton.
I mean, if you're just counting like a cart with just Mario Bros on it,
Yeah.
it's a lot.
And
Then
then
they yeah, exactly. Then they have the carts that have Mario Bros and Duck Hunt, and then they have another cart that came out a couple years later with Mario, Duck Hunt, and World Class Track Meet.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was the one with the pad, and you're like an idiot on it. Do you remember that?
Shit, I do remember seeing that.
Yeah,
I never
it's-
played it though.
Oh, it's great until you get to Cheetah, and then your legs are done. Then you get down on, and you start using your hands because you got to cheat.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's
You
how
ain't
it
cheating,
works.
You ain't trying.
For sure. I'm pretty sure that's a baseball thing. All right. I think that's pretty well wrapped up, right?
Yeah.
We did it?
So the show, I mean, that means that the show gives it 3 stars.
Yeah. Yeah, it was I think the total average was 3.03.
Yeah.
303.
I must have put different numbers. I had 3.06.
That's fine.
But 3 stars sounds okay to me. I had it for just my average as a 2.5 stars.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into what we're going to be talking about next week. You guys excited? They don't know. I do know.
Yeah. I
Oh.
Because this is how this works, I think.
Well, I'm a bad co-host and person on this show because I forgot to join the Patreon and offer my own game, so I know it isn't one that I picked.
So I'm not doing one from the Patreon this week
Oh, okay.
because you won't be at your house.
Oh,
Right?
right.
You're going to be on vacation, so the whole plan is I pulled some that are available via Switch. So make sure you bring your Switch to vacation with you.
Always do.
Good. Good.
I bring it for the kids.
Right.
It's
sure.
an-
We'll
It's
bring
a
it for you this time.
It's a 9-hour car
That was
ride.
like when I had like the plumber came and he was just like, all right, so your plumbing looks good. He goes, however, if you were to take a bath, I think you should probably grab like one of those like little rubber plugs to put in the drain. Or not you, like if, your kid wanted to take a bath. I'm like, right, my kid. I love baths. I love them.
Yeah, the kid.
I wasn't going to tell him that, but I'll tell the podcast. I love baths. I don't care.
Maybe
all
he's
right.
a listener.
You guys ready?
Yeah. It's the randomizer.
All right. So, episode 2 will be about a space western shooter from the year 1994. It was developed by a company called Natsume. Anybody know them?
No.
Yes,
Do you?
I think so.
Okay. For the console, the Super Nintendo. Set in the Wild Wild West with steampunk and sci-fi influences, the story follows Annie and her bounty hunter Clint seeking revenge for the death of her family. Episode 2 will be about the Super Nintendo game Wild Guns.
Dude, that sounds fucking dope. I want like a new version of that game. Shit.
They actually did make a new version of the game.
Oh, cool.
Yep, it's called Wild Guns Reloaded.
Hey,
Nice.
It's I believe it's basically the same game. They just gave it updated graphics and stuff like that.
Cool. That sounds cool, man.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited. I've played it before. I have not played through the entire thing. It is multiplayer, so if, we could probably play it together.
is this a
Nice.
game that can be beat in a week?
Oh yeah. Yeah, cuz it's like it's kind of like an arcade game.
Oh,
Because I'm going to spend a lot of time. I mean, the kids are going to spend a lot of time in the car. So
Yeah. Yeah, you might be able to play quite a bit of it on the car ride.
yeah,
In the car ride.
yeah.
I did real quick want to go through the upload schedule. I don't know exactly what day everything will be uploaded on. We're going to aim for Mondays. If they're Tuesdays sometimes, then that means they're Tuesdays sometimes, okay? Deal with it.
Deal with it. Just deal with it.
I mean, what are they going to do? They'll text us. That's what they do for the other show.
Yeah. Just have complaining.
Yeah.
Victor will complain on this show as well.
Yeah, or else they'll just throw Twitters at us.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Join the Twitter, please. It's at Reliving Retro. We're at Reliving Retro on everything, and if it's not that, it's at Reliving Retro Podcast.
Yep.
So just do that on all the socials: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter,
Facebook.
Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
He said those.
Yeah. Also YouTube. Go to YouTube. This episode will be on YouTube. Our trailer will be on YouTube, and then the next episode also on YouTube. All the episodes will be on YouTube. So, and if you're on YouTube watching this, go to Spotify.
Yeah. Feel free to give us a rating.
Yeah, do that. 5 stars. Not just any rating, the 5-star one. We prefer that one the best.
I wasn't going to pressure you guys, but
Pressured. Feel pressured
5
now.
stars.
Yeah,
please.
you should feel pressured to do it.
Because let's be real, unlike Super Mario Brothers for the Nintendo, our replayability is a 5-star. So
I'm gonna agree with you there.
you like that?
Yeah.
You like what I did there?
Yeah.
Come, it wasn't a joke.
Oh.
Don't hit the.
Come on, man.
Sorry. All right. Also, we're gonna do seasons of this show. Okay. Each season is gonna have 12 episodes,
Not including the trailer, right?
not including the trailer. That didn't happen.
That didn't happen.
So each season's gonna have 12 episodes, and you may be thinking, but there's 52 weeks in a year, and when you divide that by 4, then that's 13. So where's that extra episode going? So the 13th episode. So there's gonna be an episode in between season 1 and season 2. That 13th episode is going to be reviewing all of season 1, and we're going to be ranking the games that we played in season 1.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
So that's pretty much what we're doing. Also, I think we're going to do a little bit something different with episode 12. Episode 12 of every season is going to be an RPG. That way.
Nice.
No, I'm lying.
Well,
I'm lying.
episode 1
I'm
of
lying.
each new season.
Episode 1 of each new season from here on out is going to be an RPG. That's what we're doing.
Still
So
nice.
at the end of episode 12, you know it's going to be an RPG, but it's going to be randomized from a list of all RPGs. The reason why we're doing that is because then we get 2 weeks to enjoy the RPG instead of just 1 week of barely making it through any of the RPG.
Yeah. It's
Makes sense?
probably a good
I
idea.
like it.
I'm also going to extend that to just longer games in general, like your Zeldas.
Yeah.
So Zeldas are going to go into that category as well.
Yep.
Once Rigney showed me how to download the emulators of her Switch, which is not illegal because Nintendo puts that on there for a reason,
Right.
I would be lying to you guys if I told you I didn't dabble in like 6 other games
That's good.
Oh, nice.
when I should have been playing Super Mario Brothers.
That's good.
I very much was pulling my hair out
Can I know the games?
in the very
That's awesome.
first Zelda game.
Can you tell me?
Oh.
I tried to. So I've decided that. Okay, I don't know why I'm gonna tell you guys this now. I was gonna surprise you, but I'm gonna play all of the Zelda's game, all the way through Breath of the Wild 2. I'm gonna play all of them
Oh,
Yeah?
Do it.
because that is a game I felt like I've missed out on. But I don't want to do it because what if somebody suggests it and I will have already played it 2 weeks ahead of time?
I'm certain it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's gonna. They're gonna come up at some point.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
But
You can just be excited to play it again,
yeah. I mean, I already
unless
have,
you hated it.
No, I mean, the first Zelda is, I can already feel is going to be a lot like the first Super Mario Brothers. Just once it gets more into the RPG part of the game, I'm going to.
A lot of these NES games are kind of hard to go back and play when you've played how advanced these other ones, like
Yeah.
the ones that we play now, are.
Yeah.
I'm going to say something that might be a little surprising. Like, obviously, my favorite NES game of all time is Super Mario Brothers 3, but my second favorite is Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
Oh, dude, I was looking at that, like hoping we would get to play that.
I didn't see Yaiser's game on there. What is it called?
Chrono Trigger. It's not
Yeah.
on there.
It's not on there. It's on here.
Okay.
It's on it's on my classic because I downloaded it. We're going to have to do some emulator stuff with your computer and your computer at some point so we can get those.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, I already ordered SNES controllers, so each of
Nice.
you will get one of those.
You can emulate if you have an Android. You can emulate an SNES on your phone too.
True, you can, but the buttons are on the screen. That's kind of annoying.
That's
For
true.
certain games. It probably
Yeah,
works
yeah,
with RPGs.
What if I
There-
already
there's-
have a Switch controller? Can I use that?
On
Like if I
On
use
the
an
computer?
emulator? Yeah, if I get an emulator on the computer, can I use the Switch controller I bought?
Is it USB?
yeah,
Probably.
yeah, you can. I use my Xbox One controller yesterday.
The reason I say it is because it let me. That's how I beat Super Mario Brothers. Was on the TV with the Switch controller.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
So
For sure.
Yeah.
You can definitely do that. All right. I think that's going to be it for the first episode. I hope you guys play Wild Guns with us this week. Oh, I do want to say that Cody, one of our patrons, he let me know that he would tell people about this game. However, he's like, whatever game you're playing now is probably better, but you should still go back and give this a shot.
Yeah, I
he kind of
completely
took
agree.
Trav's
yeah,
kind of ideology there, where he's like, basically like, you know what you're getting. It's an OG. You should play it because it's an OG, but not because it's the greatest game of all time.
Yeah,
you're going to be disappointed if that's what
100% agree with that.
if your expectation is that this game's going to blow you away, you're going to be severely disappointed.
Yeah.
But if you're somebody who likes to be nostalgic at any point, then yes, go back and play it.
Definitely.
For sure.
Yeah.
I just want to say too, this game isn't around anymore, but when it was around, I played it a lot. It was called Mario 30th Anniversary, and it was basically a battle royale with Mario, like the OG Mario, and you'd run through the level, and like the more coins you got, like the more power-ups you could use, the more power-ups you used, like you gave like the other like people that were playing, there was 99 people playing, and you could see like everybody else's screens around your screen. I'm gonna pull it up. I'll show you guys after the podcast. It's really hard to just explain. It was amazing though. But anyway, all right. So next week, Wild Guns. I hope you guys play it with us. It's on the Switch if you guys have a Switch. If it's if you don't, then download it, or if you have the physical cartridge. For anybody who's listening, we got some listening from Canada. So for all you Canadians that listened to the first show, I really, really appreciate it.
Canada, eh?
Hey.
Well,
I said it like I was mad at you, but I was just...
Hey. You should probably stop mocking Canadians.
No.
Two Canadian listeners, and they're going to be like, all right, fuck these guys.
Three Canadian
listeners.
And I loved all three of them.
You hear these stupid Americans? They don't like Super Mario Brothers. Idiots.
yeah.
Our editor is from the Europe.
The Europe.
The Europe?
Yeah, the
Europe.
UK.
Oh, the UK.
Yeah.
Cool. He's 5 hours ahead of us in time, and I was like, he's like, what time do you guys get done recording? And I'm like, usually like 10.
Yeah.
It's pretty late. I was like, it's like 3 a.m. where you're at. It's like, that kind of sucks. You're probably gonna be in bed. He's like, I wouldn't be too sure about that. He's like, you can just send me the video and I'll get it done.
I've been very quiet and creepily stalking Rigney's conversation with that guy.
Yeah.
Not for any other reason than because I have logged into the show's Twitter on my phone.
Yeah.
And so I get all of the DMs pop up as notifications.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't see what Rigney says, I just see his response. And so he's like, and I saw the one he's talking about where he's like, well, I wouldn't go that far or something like that. And I was like, I wonder what he's talking about. And then I looked and it was like, Rigney was like, well, it's gonna be like 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know what you're talking about. But I just thought that was funny is that I've been in on this conversation without you knowing, only because I get the notifications on my phone.
I had a feeling you might have been. But all right. We will see you guys next week where we break down Wild Guns. Cool. I hope you're all excited for it.
I am.
I'm legitimately excited.
Same.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys later.
Toodles.
Peace.